It doesn't matter how much you care about the work that you do or about the outcome that you receive from your job. Sometimes you might just need to press reset altogether. Can you truly say that you love what you do, or are you just trying to survive? How many people really love their job? Let's be honest here. And I ask these questions from an employee's perspective. Now, let me show you what I mean. And this is in my case as a healthcare worker in the UK. But the things I share here will apply to all types of jobs and even business owners. Now, I have spoken to a lot of people, and it really didn't matter if they worked from home or from an office space. People seem to be struggling with burnout much more than they care to admit. And you may be too. And if you knew how quickly people forget the dead, you will stop living to impress people. This is an interesting quote you may want to repeat to yourself every day until your subconscious kicks in. And this quote will guide us in the things I am about to share. After over half a decade as a nurse and having interacted with a lot of people all of my adult life, I have found that many of us are in survival mode. Simply put it that way, nothing more. I was exactly like that. And honestly, I still have to fight this mindset very often. We grumble at work and project our frustrations on anyone who is not careful around us. And because making money is important, obviously, I remember taking every extra shift available, as many as I possibly could, and I continued to run the right race until one day it dawned on me that I was not the same person anymore. I could see myself being so irritable, feeling very unfulfilled and angry very often at my job. You don't even use your annual leave anymore to rest and engage in other activities that might interest you. I still see many people repeating the exact same routine week in, week out. And in this video, I would like to dive into a topic that hits very close to home for many of us. It's the problem of burnout that not a lot of us care to admit. What really is burnout? Simply put, it is the result of chronic stress that has not been successfully managed. Now, burnout is not only about the workplace. There is burnout in other areas of our lives, like parenting, for example, caregiving, or in our relationships. Now, for healthcare workers like myself, you could see burnout as the result of prolonged accumulated stress from all of the hospital and patient care craziness that we all experience on a daily basis. Does any of this look familiar? Crazy shifts, demanding patients and patients' relatives, or the paperwork piling up to the ceiling. Yep, now that is the perfect recipe for burnout if it's not properly managed. How about the several days when you would dress up in anticipation of a nice shift on your ward, only to get to work and be told to go cover someone else on a different ward? And then you get to that department only to discover that you have to ask for everything because you have no idea where things are kept. At the end of it all, you return home like you've been beaten. I've had my fair share of the hospital chaos, especially on the ward and in the emergency department. If you work at a corporate job or you own your own business, you may be experiencing a different shade of the same situation. It is these types of stress and stressors, if not properly managed, that will result in feeling burnt out. But today, I'm not just talking about the problem. There are practical steps I took to help me overcome workplace burnout. Step 1, it is identifying what burnout really means and how it is peculiar to your situation. Here are some examples. If you often feel emotionally or mentally or physically drained, or you feel constantly overworked, or on the other hand, you don't even look forward to your job anymore. You feel unappreciated, or it just feels like your work doesn't matter any longer. All these are early signs that you might be dealing with burnout. It is crucial to have a real talk with yourself. Acknowledge the burnout, no sugarcoating. It's not a weakness. It doesn't mean you don't care about your patients or that you're not disciplined enough or you don't care about your job, for example, if you work at a corporate job. In fact, it's actually a sign that you truly, deeply care about your job. But it doesn't matter how much you care about the work that you do or about the outcome that you receive from your job. Sometimes you might just need to press reset altogether. Step 2, support system. I can't even overemphasize this one. You need to build a strong, solid support network. People often underestimate the power of having a community. Don't isolate yourself. Share your struggles, celebrate your victories, and lean on your fellow trustworthy friends at work and outside of the workplace. Trust me, they get it. We're all dealing with similar stuff, so people get it. If you work at a place where only toxic relationships exist, I really don't understand why you are still there. There is more to life than working at a job where there's so much negativity and unhealthy relationship. For me as a nurse, I have worked in some places and heard about certain departments where it's always a dog eat dog show. You can literally feel the tension in the place, even though some try to put up a fake smile. Sometimes summer is already here. Plan a trip with friends or family. Just go somewhere you don't have to think about your job. Go away and be a person for once, not defined by your job, just careless about anything called job, and enjoy nature. And it doesn't have to be an expensive trip necessarily. Plan something on a budget. Make use of your annual leave to go on a trip outside your city or even outside your country at least twice a year if you can afford it. I see so many videos out there on social media these days. I don't even know what to call them. People coming on social media to call their family and friends out for asking them for money. I wonder how you expect to have any form of strong support if you are not ready to lend a helping hand. Don't forget, no matter how you want to look at it, friends and family back home can form part of your strongest support system. They may not be with you here, but they are very, very important to your overall well-being in any country that you are. And I can understand how burdensome it can be sometimes when people make demands left, right, and center. But this is where a proper budget is required for charity so that you can give with sense. And there is no need for ranting about it. Talking about giving with sense, if you are looking for the best international money transfer platform, look no further. Lemfi has got you covered. If you are in the UK, US, or Canada, Lemfi is the best international money transfer platform right now. I have used and compared a lot of different money transfer apps to send cash to my family and my friends back home in Nigeria, and absolutely none has come close to Lemfi. You can now send money to at least 10 African countries completely free of charge, and you get the most competitive rates daily. So if you want a hassle-free experience when you send cash to family and friends internationally, use the link in my description below to sign up. Use the referral code showing up on your screen and you will receive £15 when you send £100 or above for the first time. Thank you, Lemfi, for sponsoring this video. Step 3 is self-care. One of the greatest things I started doing that reduced work burnout for me is self-care. You may want to call it self-love, but no, I am not talking about having a bubble bath or any of those things, although it would be refreshing if you have one. So good. What I'm actually talking about is setting boundaries, saying no when needed, and prioritizing your mental well-being. It's very okay to say no to that colleague or that manager who wants to overwhelm you with other jobs when you haven't even done the regular ones assigned to you. Look, learning to say no to things and to people is so powerful. It will help you to streamline the things you can say yes to. If you're struggling with saying no, then I would recommend a book to you. It's called The Art of Saying No. There is a skillful way of saying no to a person without ever using the word no. And the idea in this book will empower you to say no more often but respectfully than saying yes, not only at work but in all other aspects of your life. You should only say yes to things that genuinely contribute to your ultimate goal and happiness in life. Here's how Josh Billings put it: one half of all the troubles of this life can be traced to saying yes too quickly and not saying no soon enough. Learn to say no. It will be of more use to you than to be able to read Latin. And that is by Charles Spurgeon. Now think about this. How often do we do things that we really wouldn't have done otherwise, only because we want to be in the good books of the other person? You don't have to do that over time if you don't want to, no matter who that manager is. You might as well use that time to sleep or visit a friend or go sit still by the beach somewhere and experience the refreshing view of nature. When you're at peace with yourself and love yourself, it is virtually impossible to do things to yourself that are destructive. Take some time to reflect on all your values and priorities. Knowing this will help you make decisions that align with your true self rather than out of obligation or fear. Also, on this journey of self-care, I think we often underestimate the power of good quality sleep on a daily basis. I took so many extra shifts at a point in my life that you would wonder what exactly was pursuing me. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not in support of being lazy. Neither am I damping down on working hard, but it is important to know when to stop and take a break to relax and enjoy your labor. What exactly are you working for? Why are you working so hard? When is this grinding going to end? Perhaps answering these 3 questions honestly and getting a plan in place will help you to know when to stop. Take that sick leave when you need to. Don't wait until you land in the emergency department before you let your employer know that you are not well. Also, don't wait until you find yourself with a psychiatrist before you realize that your mental health is in jeopardy. Now, this is what I always say, always. I try to remind myself of this every time I wake up. The work will go on without you. I sing that to myself very often. The work will go on without you. The company was there before you came. It will continue to run after you are gone. The hospital was there before I started working. It will continue to run after I leave. And really, here's the harsh reality of life and how I look at it based on experience. I imagine sometimes at work that if I were to drop dead right now, the best thing anyone would do is call emergency services and try to resuscitate me. Give your employer and your colleagues a few days to 1 week to mourn your absence, and that is it. Life goes on. In fact, while they are mourning you, if they do at all, they will be doing so while still working. So I repeat to myself very often that this work can continue without me. I am not Alpha and Omega. I am dispensable. Even if it's a headache that needs to be addressed, I will take the day off to address it. If you're getting any value from this video so far, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Step 4, disconnect. You see this device here? It can be a blessing or a curse depending on your relationship with it. You can relax with music on your phone or watch a comedy show on YouTube or Instagram to help you relieve stress. You can even listen to an audiobook or read a book using a phone. Just anything that can provide you with work detoxification. Try to forget about work and enjoy the moment. However, on the flip side, I also think that we all need to schedule tech detox time. Step away from the notifications and embrace the peace that comes with a screen-free moment from time to time. Excessive phone usage in terms of the amount of time spent on your phone has been linked to higher stress levels. Think about that. It's also been linked to depression and anxiety and the feeling of loneliness. Look at it this way, that the more you interact with your phone, the less of interaction you have with the real world. Now imagine a situation where you get home from your day job, then jump on your phone to scroll aimlessly and often mindlessly on TikTok and Instagram, and then it's suddenly time to sleep. You wake up the next morning to repeat the same routine, and then you wonder why you feel miserable about your life. Instead of doing all of that, how about you find something else you are passionate about to do after your day job? Something you can always look forward to that will give you a sense of purpose and motivation on a daily basis. I try to stay off social media from time to time, even though I'm not doing it as much as I would like to, because doing this helps me to think and focus on things that truly matter to my life and destiny. Like I always say, there is so much noise out there in the world. Try to stay away from the noise. Find something that fuels your energy and pursue it with everything within you. Step number 5 is to seek professional help. While I was dealing with my own issue with burnout, I did not get to this step because I was able to deal with it using the ideas from the other steps that I took. But if burnout becomes too overwhelming, please seek professional help. It's a brave move. Like I said, it is not a sign of weakness. Therapists and counselors can provide valuable guidance. Remember, your well-being matters and you can't pour from an empty cup. So surround yourself with positivity and let's conquer burnout together. You may also like this video here to watch next. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Until I see you again next time, bye.